know. Can somebody come and save me? I just wanna know. I know. If I could run through the fire, I could conquer the night. If I can make it, if I try to draw the red lights. I don't know if I can make it when I walk alone. I'm not gonna lose myself. I'll be standing high and I'll win the fight. Not gonna lose myself. And I wanna know, yeah, I wanna know. I could run through the fire, I could conquer the night. If I can make it, if I try to draw the red lights, I could just stay the same or be winning the game. I was standing high and I'll win the fight.
I came straight to the dirt, my sleeves pulled up and my head held high. No shirt, no shoes, but a beating heart, and I made sure that my tongue was tied. Try to shut up and just put up with all the lies they told. Guess this is what it's like when you grow up. I'm feeling old. Some say it's normal when you get formal. It comes with age, what a mistake. Cause when I was a kid, I dreamt of something greater, like standing on a stage and hearing all those people shout my name. But now I'm hanging low and looking for someone to blame. So
I'm not gonna lose myself. I'll be standing high and I'll win the fight. Not gonna lose myself. And I wanna know, yeah, I wanna know. I could run through the fire, I could conquer the night. If I can make it, if I try to draw the red lights, I could just stay the same. I'll be winning the game. I was standing high and I'll win the fight.
I know if I can make the days go by like this right now.
I don't know if I can make it when I walk alone.
I don't know if this road is too long, guess I'll make it somehow.
Can somebody come and save me? I just wanna know. To win, a surprise that you play with this tonight. So keep playing hard and aim for the stars. Cause to win, a surprise that you play with this tonight.
I'm not gonna lose myself this
I'm
time.
not gonna lose myself. I'll be standing high and I'll win the fight. Now gonna lose myself. And I wanna know, yeah, I wanna know. I could run through the fire, I could conquer the night. If I can make it, if I try to draw the red lights, I could just stay the same or be winning the game. I was standing high and I'll win the fight. And I'll win the fight. Oh.
Hi, everybody. As you can see the title, Hurt People, Hurt People. You know, meaning as in when somebody is hurt, they can turn around and hurt another person that's already hurt. I want to address the other night, a couple of nights ago, probably 12, 13 days ago, I came up here and I did a live. I was angry and I was hurt. Probably more hurt than anything. Especially when someone apologizes to you, you're okay with that. And then have that apology taken back. You know, it hurt. You know, I was able to move forward with that apology. Welcome, Fancy Glam. Thank you for coming in. That's all I see right now on comments. So I don't know who else has came in. If you're here, thank you for coming. But right now, all I see is Fancy. For some reason, my comments aren't showing up over here, so I don't know. Let me go over here to YouTube right quick. Yeah. Oops. Sorry, I did that. All right. Well, hi to everybody, whoever's there watching in the back. And Jenna, if you're there, I want you to listen because some of this is going to pertain to you. I'm not coming up here to come at you. I'm not coming up here to say that you're right or wrong. I'm not coming up here to do any of that. I'm coming up here because I realized I hurt my sisterhood whenever I was angry going at you. Hey, CJ. And I hurt my sisterhood so bad that it hurt me even worse because I came at you angry and hurt. Now, I did watch your live the other day, and I'm sorry what you went through as a child. You know, the compassion component is there. I get it, and I understand. And I apologize that you took my words the other day and thought that I was talking about your mother or your twin. I was not. And I'm sorry that it was taken that way. It's just an old saying, when people, and excuse my French, when they don't think right or they're idiots because they keep going on. It's like, you have shaken baby syndrome. Why is your brain not working? Has somebody dropped you on your head? It's just a saying. There was no malice intent to say that I was bringing your mother into it. And I'm sorry if you felt that way, but there was absolutely no malice intent towards that. Number two, being hogtied in gator bait. Listen, I'm sorry you took it as a terroristic threat. But it was not meant as a terroristic threat. It's just an old saying down here in the South. When we don't like nobody or when we don't like somebody, we usually just say we hog time and throw them over the bridge, alligator alley, and that's really all that was meant out of that. And I'm sorry if you took it as a threat. I do apologize. I was speaking out of anger and hurt. I'm not going to lie to you. Just like I watched you the other day and I saw the true Jenna, the Jenna that I once loved, the Jenna that I once cared for, the real Jenna. Am I angry at you? I'm angry at you. I'm angry and hurt by you. Some of the things that you have said, to me, to the girls, and I know we are not innocent. I'm not innocent. Most of us are not innocent, but we all have stories, and we cannot let those stories define us. You said, on your live, walk in my shoes and you'll understand. I wear those same type of shoes that you wear. I've been walking in your shoes. I get it. And I understand that we're broken. Most of us are broken. We all have different life stories, different pasts, different upbringings that were hurt. But we have to heal from them. Nobody's story is any more powerful than anybody else's story, but at least you had a mother that loved you. had a mother that tried to kill me my first 3 years of life. And there's paperwork on it. My dad fought hard. You know, I was beat a lot. I was always pulled around by the hair of my head. I was always smacked. And then I was beaten to the point where I had to be taken to the hospital and I had died. They revived me. After 20 minutes of working on me, I was revived. And I was sent into a foster home for a week or 2. They gave me to my dad. Now, back in 1978, 76, the mother always got custody of the children. They took her parental rights away for what she had done to us. She couldn't handle it. So she set our trailer on fire with us kids in it. You know, and we were in a burning house while my daddy was watching and trying to get to us to save us. We are all here and we are all saved. But she does things like that. She's still alive today, but I stay away from her. And there is a whole lot of things that this woman has done to me. Does it make me more relevant? No, it don't. It just shows that I also have my stories of childhood trauma. You know, there's a lot more, but I'm not going to go into it up here right now. You know, my words were anger and hurt the other day, just like your words are anger and hurt. This has got to end, Jenna. It does. It needs to end. We may never be able to mend the bridges, but love can build a new bridge. You know, and hate has to stop. The going back and forth, the hey, Charlie girl. You know, all of it has to stop. Nobody is any better than anybody else on YouTube. I think we all have a lot of stories that we need to tell. Hey, Miss Stephanie, welcome. Does it make what you've done right? No. Does it make what I've done right wrong? No. You got me at a moment where you got under my skin and you made me very angry. Angry to the point that I said a lot of things that I probably should not have said. And I'm sorry. I did not mean to hurt you like that. I would never intentionally or personally hurt somebody in that type of manner. Hey, Miss Patricia. So I hope you do accept my apology. I mean my apology when I say I'm sorry. I did not mean to trigger any PTSD in you. I did not mean to take you back to your childhood. There was absolutely no malintent in that. And I'm going to take accountability and own that I hurt you. And I did not mean to. Not that way. I never would do that to anybody. But we really I'm sorry. That was a strong cigarette. That went down the wrong lane. But we really, as adults, there comes a time to grow up, and can we fix everything in the world? No, we can't. We can't fix everything, but we can learn from our mistakes and we can move on. The first thing, I do want to make clarification is, yes, I made one phone call. One phone call. Doesn't mean that I was going real life on you. It was a wellness check because you was in a bad state. One, not 100, not any of that. The other one that was made is when you was in a domestic violence situation and you had asked this person to call 911. And that is exactly what she did, because you was in a bad situation at the time. My girl's ready to come up. You ready?
Sure. Hi, everyone.
Hey, Fancy.
I missed the last little bit of what you said, waiting for this to load up.
I already forgot.
It's okay.
My brain. Charlie girl, if you can remind me a little bit. I know my brain don't work the way it should.
Yeah.
I was apologizing. I know about where we have to sort of come to an I was going over about the phone call, the one phone call that I did make to check up on her well-being, and that the other one, that was made. It was because of domestic violence situation, and she asked for that. That person asked, and she said yes for 911 to be called because it was in a domestic violence situation that she was in. So those are the only two times that real life has ever been put onto her. And the first time was she asked for our help. And the second time was I doing a wellness check. Other than that, I did not do CPS. I did not call CPS, even though they should have been called. We never did it. The CPS stems from your son at school not having a ride and the kids not having the bus or something. That's when CPS came into your home, and it was not because of me, and it was not because of the girls. They were already there. So no, I never called in a CPS report as you claim. CPS was already in your home even while we were in this group at the time. We already knew about that. And that came from the school. It didn't come from anybody else but the school. So, I wanted to clear those up because I know Tuesday you want to come out and you want to punch us and, show all the evidence and everything else. That's okay, because we know I know I've done nothing wrong other than the other day. Speaking out of hurt and anger. So I won't take my apology back because I know how to apologize and I know how to move on. And I do apologize for acting out of anger towards you the other day. But I did want to make up those clarifications. My Fancy.
I just ultimately think that it's time for each side to take accountability for what we've done to each other and sincerely so. And it's time to move on and let the healing begin. Does that mean we're ever going to be friends? Most likely not. But we can coexist. We can stop hurting each other. We can stop being in battle mode. Each side has their side. You know, there's their side, our side, and somewhere in the middle. And I sincerely do apologize for and hold myself accountable for the things that I may have done. I've become an angry person, a hateful person, and that's not who I am at the core. And that's not who I want to continue being at all. Watching Jenna's live the other night, hearing her talk about her childhood and her mother made me physically ill, because that is another human being there. And I know that my sister here, I know that you reacted out of a place of anger and pain, and you really just came up and lashed and vented, if you will.
Yeah.
And I have to understand too that some of how you, Jenna, have reacted to us comes from the same place of hurt and anger. Because at one time we did love you and we did support you, and things went awry, things broke up. And then over this last close to a darn year, we've gone back and forth at each other and solving nothing. We keep repeating the same words and regurgitating the same story, and both sides want to be desperately heard. Both sides want to be validated, but we're not able to give that to each other. But I do see you as a human being and not just a target at this point. But unfortunately, for my own healing, I need to move on. I have done you wrong. I know in our comments back and forth, you had said this really has nothing to do with you. But it does. I need to hold myself accountable. And I still support my sisterhood. I will still fight to the death for each and every one of them. But at this point, I need to stop and think, what cost? What is going to be the result of this? How much more damage can we do to each other? And what does it solve? It really doesn't. And I wish that you could be here and come up on panel and talk. Without having us bash each other and blame each other, just strictly as woman to woman. And again, I don't know what that would solve necessarily, but I think it would benefit all of us to move on.
I agree 100%. Jenna, if you're not working, and you're welcome to come up. We can have a conversation, a true conversation, nothing about battling at each other, nothing about cutting each other's throat or anything. Just where we can, all of us, including you, where we can heal, where we can move on, where we can coexist in other people's chats, where we know that we've all have made mistakes and we all have gone hardcore, but we learn from them and we move on. You know, I like Gloria, or like Fancy Glam. I know you're human and I know you make mistakes. I'm human and I make mistakes, and I've been feeling really bad about my mistake, about after seeing your live and how the girls felt and everything else. Gotta understand, anger hurts, it cuts. so does being hurt. It cuts, and to this point, I don't even want an apology no longer. Because the one that you did give me, I felt content and I was able to move on, but you took it back. And that is what hurt me, and that's what caused me to lash out the way that I did. And I'm like Fancy Glam, I don't want to be surrounded in negativity or hate. I'm becoming somebody I don't even like. I'm one of those that are full of love, that want to empower, that want to lift up, that want to be giving, that wants to be the shoulder, that wants to love unconditionally. That's the type of person that I am. But I see the anger side of me that I don't like. I don't like being angry. I don't like being hurt. And I am already hurting. I've been hurting for a little over a year now. But I don't need to be being kept reminded about it. And every time that you apologize and then take it back, it's a reminder. I want to heal too. I want you to heal. Whatever has happened to you or what you're going through, I don't wish no bad on you. I never have. But I do know when a person is broken and they need help and guidance and healing. So I mean, that's why I'm coming up here, and I'm owning that I messed up, and I apologize for it.
Yeah, I know we're coming up on a new year, and I want it to be a year of new beginnings. Having grown and learned so many things in the last year, there's a lot that I regret, and there's a lot that I don't. But I do want to move on. What I don't regret is, through all the anger and pain, is that I've gained a sisterhood.
Yeah.
Despite what's happened in the past, we stand strong together because we've gotten to know each other. There isn't a single day that's gone by that we haven't all been in contact with one another on calls, just loving and supporting and growing together. And so in that respect or aspect, I don't regret what's happened in the last 10 months, but I do regret a lot of my reactions. And I don't want to be sitting here in another 10 months still fighting and still an angry person.
Exactly.
It's just not where I want to be. And I would hope that you're not in that space either, Jenna, in 10 months. I really sincerely hope that we can move on and just enjoy our lives and work on our forgiveness. You work on your forgiveness as well. We're not perfect. We're not innocent at all by any means. And I know the sisterhood as a whole, I can speak for and say that we really do want to move on.
Yeah.
We do want to put this in the past with lessons learned and healing in progress.
Yeah. I agree. And it's not just us. I know that there are quite a few out there, but our group, our sisterhood, I do want to thank you, Jenna, for that gift of bringing us together. You say that we don't say anything good about you. The good is you did bring us together, and we've all bonded. We're very strong at the heart, but we also have each other's back when somebody goes after one or somebody goes after another. We're all there. We're all going to sit there and we're going to fight the battle for each sister that's being attacked or being brought down. It took me a moment to realize what I did. It was so angry. I'm not going to lie. I was angry. I was hurt. And then I saw your live, and even though we talked about it today, I'm angry. I'm not going to lie to you. I am angry. I'm angry at you. I'm angry. But I'm also hurt. Hurt by what you've done. And I don't want to be angry. I don't want you to be angry.
And I would like to speak on one other thing. We have come together as a group, and there were others before us that have their issues, their anger, and their hurt. And I've gotten to know a few of those ladies, and I hear their side of things, and they're at different stages of healing, possibly than we are. I still will support those ladies. I still have their back, even though their group is separate from ours. They have my love and respect and support. And I just wanted to put out that to all of these ladies. There's our Carol and our Ink, and like I said, they're in their own battle, but which is separate. It is completely separate. So we can only speak for our sisterhood and ourselves individually. But I wanted to put it out there that I love you girls too, and support you, and have this friendship that's developing and growing. But I don't want to speak on your behalf, because this is your walk and your situation. But just know that you are supported and loved and cared for deeply.
Exactly. And I feel the same. I don't believe in beating people up, and I'm going to eat my words, because of the live that I did. I'm not going to dirty delete it. I know she wants to use it, and I'm okay with that. If you need to use it to down or bash or whatever you need to do, that's fine. But I also want you to understand that we all come from a place of hurt, including you. And it's okay to have emotions. It's okay to be angry. Maybe it's been a couple of months in the making where I haven't spoke out. I've spoke out, but I haven't spoke out the way I needed to speak out. And, like I said, that day that you took that apology back was the day that I became unhinged and said, you know what? I said a lot of things out of anger towards you, and I'm sorry. And I want to reiterate that nothing was ever to be a threat, and nothing was ever towards your mother or your family. Nothing. And I'm sorry that I triggered that in you. I am. I truly, seriously am. I'm sorry. I think we all just need to move on from the lesson. And, there's an old saying that I learned that if you are in negativity, you become that negativity. And you stay in that negativity. And then you surround yourself with negativity. I don't want to be like that. I want to be surrounded by light. I want to be surrounded by encouragement, uplifting support. And I think that's what you need to be surrounded by too. Enough of the knives in the back, enough of the he said, she said, enough of all of that.
I agree.
This from my life that I'm no longer going to give oxygen to the situation. I've spoke my piece on the good side, on the classy side, and on the mean side. I've spoken my piece, and it's gotten me absolutely nowhere but angry and hurt. And on this live, I'm letting it go. I will no longer give you any oxygen, none, because I don't want to keep feeding this fire that we keep going after each other. I'm over it. I'm done with it. So I mean, I'm willing. I'm not willing. That's what I am going to be doing. You can talk and bash me all you want. That's great. My child, that's past. If you want to keep bringing that up, that's all right. But here tonight, I refuse to give any more oxygen to the threat or to the going to put out screenshots or going to do anything to hurt the sisterhood. I'm no longer giving it oxygen. Tonight, it's done with me.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that. And I know Jenna had expressed, I believe in a comment, I may be wrong about that, it may be on her live, or both, that she too wants to be done. Not putting our names out there anymore, not giving the fuel to keep the going back and forth. And I do believe her when she says that. I do. And I hope that it really does end and that we can move on. If you still feel the need to do your live, that's fine. It's like the old saying, you do you, boo. And I don't mean that in a mean way, but you do what you need to do. And if that's what you choose to do it, and we can still move on. And maybe everybody just needs their last piece, the last hurrah. But as for myself and our sisterhood, we are going to move on, and we're not going to, in return, fuel any more of the forest fire that's been raging for 10 months.
Yeah, I agree. We did call a truce, and that truce did get broken. So, I'm just not going to deal with it no more. I can't, for my own sanity. And, at the very beginning, I told you, I'm not into drama. I'm not don't bring me into the drama. I can't. And that's all it's been, has been drama. It hasn't even given me a chance to even really heal the last year, 13 months, because it's nothing but drama, and I don't want to be involved in any more drama. You know, I wish you the best. I truly do, from the bottom of my heart, my soul, my core. I do wish you the best. And I wish you the best on your journey, that somehow, some way you find the healing that you need, you know, as well. And you're able to overcome your hurt and your pain. But I'm no longer going to add fuel into your fire. I can't.
I have spent so much of my adult life trying to only build other women up, because it's what I believe in at the core. Women go through so much. Our mommy guilt, our dealing with men or other women, whatever your walk of life is, that really, if all of us could lift each other up, we'd be a force to reckon with, you know, as women. You know, I fight for my family, just as you fight for yours. I just want to be a better woman. I want to get back to who I am at the core. And that is someone that views most things in a positive manner. And I've let negativity take over and hinder things in my life. Like here with my sister, Dusty, I know that she is healing for the loss of her son. And we're kind of stagnant in that healing because we've got caught up in another battle. And the reality is we need to let that go and get on with the healing. And so we can hold our sister up instead of being so focused on getting back at you. All of our revenge, just going over and over and over. We need to step back from it, move on, and we can lift our sister up here and help you through your grief, Dusty. We can't take it from you. We can't make anything better where your son is concerned. There's just nothing that we can do but be the shoulders you lean on, and we can hold you up. And just be there, whether you need silence, because there was a time where you needed some silence and you backed away from us. But we understood and we accepted it for what it was and saw why. And then there's times where you cry and we're there to listen. We cry with you. We try to make you laugh. We just try to build you up. And I think we can do better at that if we're less focused on this YouTube drama.
I agree. I mean, all of you have been amazing to me, and it took our talk today, you know. I was listening, even though I held my head low, I was listening, you know. I was taking in, you know, word for word what was being said and how everybody was feeling. And, you know, when I walked out, it was because I had my tail between my legs, because I didn't realize how bad that I had hurt my sisterhood by my rage, by my anger. And, you know, each and every one of you, I also owe an apology too, because I was so angry and hurt that night whenever I went up there and I did my live. You know, I didn't talk it over with anybody. I went cutthroat. it was like I couldn't even be reasoned with at that moment. Just that hurt. The hurt and the anger overtook me that night, and it overtaken me. It also hurt you guys, and I don't want to be like that. When I realized that I hurt you guys, I think that was the part of like, well, I did not mean to hurt anybody, and then so they're talking about, the compassion and everything else. It did, even though I'm angry, it did make me think, about Jenna talking about her story and everything else. And like you said, and I totally agree. She's human. She's also coming from a place of anger and hurt. I get it and I understand. And I just hope she can find somebody that will help her through that and help empower her as well. That it's okay to be angry, and it's okay to be hurt, and it's okay not to be okay. But I think lashing out and hurting people is not the way to do it.
I'm just gonna mute for a minute walking through the house.
Okay. Hey, Linda, Marie. Hey, Carol. I hope you have a good night. Thank you for stopping by. Fancy, you are an amazing woman. CJO's giving us rainbows. I know it's on a small platform, but if you want to link Jenna to come up, that's fine. If you want to talk, we can talk like civilized humans instead of going at each other. It's, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even know if Jenna's on YouTube currently, if she's working or whatnot. I will leave a message on her community page to please watch this and take from it what you need to take from it. We can't make you stop coming at us. We can't dictate what your fight is. But as for us, we're moving on.
Yeah. And I do want to put a little tiny bit of input in there. I already knew you didn't work at Waffle House. I've known that for quite some time. I do know where you worked, and I mean, I'm not going to go real life on you or anything, but I said Waffle House to throw people off. That's why I said what I said. But I do personally know exactly where you work, and I really, it's no big deal. I mean, you're working. That's good. That's good for you, where you're able to get yourself back up on track where you need to be. And you may think that I'm being sarcastic when I say it, but honestly, it's coming from my heart when I say this. I'm proud of you. I'm proud that you're finally working and bringing yourself back up. I am. I think you're doing a good job where you're at and where your husband is at. I think you guys are doing an awesome job. And I'm glad you're finally doing it. So I do want to say that does come from the heart. Would anybody else like to come up? If you would, let me know, and I can drop you a link. I'm so sorry, Country Christian. She says, I know what you mean, Dusty. I've been upset, hurt for the past few months. It's been really hard. And yeah, hurt and anger, it's it's very hard. I mean, you put both together and it's like poison, and sometimes we have to remind ourselves that we are not toxic, that we are good people. And
I think about the last group when we initially got involved with Jenna. We did come together. I know it's been disputed, but we did come together as a group of survivors. We came together as a group of broken people in various stages of healing. Almost the makings for a catastrophe, if you will. All of us survivors, all of us badass, strong women that have a hard time backing down from a fight. Does it excuse all that's went on in the last 10 months? And no, it doesn't. But I can say adamantly that we're all involved are some badass, strong women. We're fighters. We'll continue to be fighters, but it doesn't need to be ugly anymore. We don't have to fight anymore. Embrace our strengths, embrace the fact that we are badass women, embrace that we are loving individuals with hearts, that we're human, we bleed the same. We all need water to survive. We all need nourishment. Our souls need the nourishment as well. I don't know what else to say really, except that I do want to get back to empowering other women, building other women up, and people. I shouldn't just say exclusively women, but people in general. I say women because I come from a place as a woman. So that's really all I have to say. It doesn't need to be a long
and
life,
I
I guess.
agree. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. And I know as far as our sisterhood, there's time differences and family stuff going on, or I think each one of us would be up here. I know where Nikki's at. She's far ahead in time, so it's late at night, if not early morning now for her.
Yeah.
I know my sister Shining has her whole family. There's dinner to make and kids to run around after. Just life, that's real life that goes on. But we did feel, all of us felt it important just to voice some things that we've been talking about and hashing out, going over. And
yeah. And CJ says anger usually comes from a place of pain, which is why you should never make decisions based on temporary emotions like anger, because anger is a secondary emotion, hurt is the primary emotion. It's the hurt that needs healed. The anger goes when you heal and move forward from the hurt.
Yeah, that's very well put.
Yeah. Like the rock that you told me about earlier that don't move, and that's true. It's very beautifully put, and I mean, I want no more fuel added to the fire. We can't. We just want to live our lives, go into the new year being strong, badass warrior chicks, helping people, helping men, helping women, children, whatever we need to do. But we want to do it on a positive note we don't want to do it with anger that's engaged inside of us. So I know that it takes time to heal, and it takes time for anger to go away. But here tonight, I'm telling you, like I said, I'm sorry. And I'm moving on. I'm no longer going to feed the fire. If you make me angry, you make me angry. I'm just going to be silent. I can't do it no more. And I don't want to do it no more. I've got personal life that I need to deal with. I've got my own emotions and my own healing that I need to deal with. I know I'm not ever going to be the same person that I was a year and a half ago. Open, happy. I'm not going to be that same person. But I still will be a person of love and encouragement and uplifting others. I still will be that person because that's embedded in my bones, embedded in my soul. That's embedded in who I am. And I don't want to be angry no more. I can't not be.
That's right. Totally agree. I think right now I'm going to drop down because I think I've said everything that I want to say. I might get off of here and say, oh shit, I should have said this.
Yeah.
But for now, I've said what I've needed to say and felt heavy on my heart to say.
Thank you for coming up and sharing and expressing and mostly helping me out through it as well. Thank you.
You're welcome. I love you all.
I love you too. And if nobody else wants to come up, I will go ahead and probably say my good nights as well. The opening song was by Loving Caliber. I'm not going to lose myself. And that's the way I feel for the last few months, that I've been losing myself. And I don't want to do that no more. I want to be, like Fancy Glam said, a better person. And I know there's a lot of hurt inside of me that I need to heal from. And I cannot heal from that hurt until I let the anger go. So, Jenna, this is me letting you go. I wish you the best. I do. I wish you the best in everything. I do not wish you any harm, and I don't wish anybody to go real life on you. Those 2 times, that one time was asked that you knew about, and the other time was just a wellness check. We never called CPS on you. Never. So, with that, I'm going to go ahead and, wish everybody a blessed evening. And Charlie girl, love you too. Love Fancy Pants. And love you too, Country Christian and CJ. Thank you for coming in. And with that, I hope you guys all have a good night.